Gather around, gather around. It is story time. It is story time. I am author Zachary Fenell, and today I will be reading you a selection from my second book, Rock Realities. Rock Realities collects, there's the cover for you. Rock Realities is available on the Kindle and Nook, and it collects together interviews I've done with 13 different musicians. To start with today's reading, I'm going to read my short introduction. So this is before we get into the musician interviews. Music possesses great power. The right song can comfort you when enduring rough times, or give you the approval to feel angry and frustrated. On the lighter side, music sets the mood for joyous occasions. Truly, music's power expands across the human's vast emotional spectrum. Personally, my deep bond with music began to develop when in high school. Self-esteem issues linked to cerebral palsy, a neurological disability, left me turning to alternative rock to find emotional support. For example, I related well to Stain's song, Outside. Once I graduated college and started pursuing freelance writing, my appreciation for music only grew. Through freelance gigs like the now defunct websites OC Reloaded and Yahoo Voices, I received the opportunity to interview several musicians. Interviewing upcoming artists with loyal followings to more nationally recognized acts like the Party King Andrew W.K. and the Bangles' Debbie Peterson allowed me to metaphorically go backstage and better understand the music industry. When Yahoo Voices shut down in August of 2014, publishing rights for my work there reverted back to me. After some brainstorming, I decided to compile the interviews with the musicians still active today and republish them into this book. A simple idea soon evolved into a labor-intensive project. Between the musicians I interviewed for Yahoo Voices, I conducted extensive follow-up interviews with about half. Then I ended up reaching out and conducting half a dozen new interviews. Desire to provide you a book worth your time and money remained my core motivation. So without further ado, I'll leave you to the reason you purchased Rock Realities, the musicians' insights. And so now I'm going to read to you a selection from artist Stacey Randall. Each artist starts with like a quick introduction, then we get into the article based off the interview. So Stacey Randall. Stacey Randall, while perhaps not a household name yet, her music continues to reach more and more homes. You might recognize her voice from multiple songs featured on Lifetime's Dance Moms. Her resume additionally touts tracks featured on Rectify, The Comedians, and the film Grandma. In July 2015, I spoke to the On the Rise artist by phone for this book. Topics we covered included Randall's decision to move to Nashville to music, establishing her own scene, and balancing making music with a full-time job. Alternative describes artist and Illinois native Stacey Randall on multiple levels. Her sound fits with the alternative genre. Her songwriting method proves alternative in comparison with what you will find commonplace in Nashville, Tennessee. the place she now calls home. Even her approach to balancing life with music remains alternative, especially compared to others in this book. All these different levels Randall addressed during our 1 hour plus long conversation. From Big Blue to Music City Novice. The roots for Stacey Randall's musical endeavors remain implanted in her native state, Illinois. She fondly recalled the developing her interest in music as a child, listening to oldies with her father. When Randall went off to college, she attended Milken University in Decatur, Illinois to study music. Go Big Blue. There at Milken, she discovered her desire to make music. Singing in Milken's choir provided the catalyst, she explained. One of the choirs there at Milken was more professional. We travel more, and they just expected more out of you. I still think that was a turning point and opened my eyes to, oh man, I can't leave this behind after college. I need to be making music somehow. It can't be just an extracurricular thing I did way back in college. An internship for a publishing company during college led Randall to Nashville, Tennessee one summer. To say she enjoyed the experience equals an understatement. Indeed, Randall expressed much affection towards Music City. I fell in love with the city. I knew after college then I wanted to come back and live and write music. Continuing, she admitted, I know that sounds sort of cliche because there are so many writers here, but I guess that summer was the summer I really thought about writing music. So I tried it and wrote a bunch of crappy songs and then eventually got to where I feel good about what I write. Writing music. As Randall talked about her internship duties, songwriting began to dominate our dialogue. I was working at a publishing company. It was mostly all country music. I'm not knocking country music as a genre because I love a lot of country, but the particular songs, while I was an intern, I'd have to type out sheets with their lyrics and whatever. And I was just thinking, what the hell? These are just awful. After a laugh, she added, like they sell, but oh, I'm in a truck and junk in my trunk. You know, just all this stuff that's all very, very cliche. She laughed again. Lyrical content soon emerged as a reoccurring theme throughout our conversation. Like Randall indicated, such songs sell, leaving her tempted to pursue the work once she moved to Nashville. There was a time where I kind of considered, okay, should I try and pursue being a writer and writing for other people, like on Music Row? Opportunities, Randall realized, remain hard to come by. It is so hard to tap into the country pop music world because there are so many of the big names of the writers that it's hard to get in a room with. Even if Randall found herself in that room, though, she vocalized displeasure for co-writing, saying, the whole co-writing thing, I really do not feel comfortable with anyway. It's just nothing I'd ever want to do. Envisioning what such a situation might look like, Randall said, I picture the formula of what they're trying to create. It's like, alright, I need this. I need that. I need the theme going on. I gotta say tank tops, and I got to mention summer at least once. You know, the same old things. Letting out a sigh, she continued, gosh, the hooks and what's not so musically and lyrically, it's the same kind of formula that they typically use. They sit in a room, just wing it out and pitch it for a hit. It's just not the way I think that music should be recorded and listened to. Obviously, Randall's previously mentioned temptation fizzled out quite quickly. Finding her sound. Although the pop country scene disinterested Stacey Randall, to say the least, that initial summer interning in Nashville successfully sparked inspiration. A spark ignited when she saw 10 out of 10, a collection made up by various Nashville artists in the indie rock realm. I got to see them play shows, just indie folk rock, more stuff that was up my alley. That was very inspiring to me because it was all different people, different songwriters. In 2011, that inspiration encountered turbulence while Randall recorded and prepared for release her debut album, Steady Rhythm. Remembering back to how the album progressed, Randall shared, I think Steady Rhythm, those were all songs I started with and I wrote and I loved and everything, and I still do, but it all depends on the producer. She continued detailing the scenario. You're new to town and you're not sure. You want to make a record. I think that's one of the hardest things for someone starting out in music. Just trying to come up with. It's a really hard thing because your songs could turn out completely different than what you would want them to sound like because of one person or because of one person not being there to shape it the right way. Those comments Randall pointed out do not mean to slight Steady Rhythm's producer. That was my first record. That was my first time at a studio. I was like, alright, here are all my songs. Then I let my band in. Not knocking the producer, he was just more of a poppy country type guy. Rather, Randall's inexperience laid at fault. I hadn't found my confidence of knowing that I don't want to be that poppy. I want to be this way. It's all just from experience, knowing when to speak up. Experience Randall gained from Steady Rhythm. And the article goes on, and I could continue on, but for time's sake, I am going to call it. I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Rock Realities is available on the Kindle and Nook. If what you sampled today has you interested, go to the Kindle Nook, find Rock Realities, and download and enjoy reading. Make sure you give me your feedback too. You can reach out to me at ZacharyFenell.com, my website. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.